In this video, I'll be showing you how you can create this dot matrix chart. So we have a 10 by 10 matrix with a total of 100 dots, and each dot can represent 1%. This is a completely editable chart. So if I right click on the chart and click on edit data, you can see that we have a matrix of 10 by 10. So each of these values represents this individual dot. Now let's understand what we have here. So we have 10 columns for these 10 columns that you see here, and similarly we have 10 rows going from 1 through 10, and each column has these values that are going from 1 through 10. Now let's say if we wanted to edit our chart to from 100% to let's say 50%, what we need to do is remove the top 50% values, so which is the total of top 50 values. If we remove them, you will see that our chart has updated and it's only showing 50 filled circles. Let's say if you wanted to create irregular value like say 67%, we will just have to take out the remaining 33 values. So I'm going to choose 30 here and 3 from here, and you'll see that it's showing 67%. Now let's say if you want to go in reverse order, you have this chart and you want to show 90% here. So we'll need to make sure that all these fields are filled in with incremental numbers. So we need 8, 9 all across and 7 to be filled in this row. So the easiest way to do that is just select these two cells, 6 and 7, then go to the bottom right corner until a plus sign appears. Just drag that 2 rows like this, and the Excel, or rather the data sheet behind the chart, autofills our values. Then we just need to drag the same 4 values from the bottom right hand corner all the way to the end, and now we have our chart showing 90%. So one last step remaining is changing the text to show 90%. So it's as easy as that. Let me show you how you can create this. So go to a blank slide, go to insert, click on chart, click on XY scatter, and we can select our very first chart here. Click OK. Let's close the data sheet and clean up the chart a bit. So go to this top right corner and click on this plus sign. Uncheck the boxes for chart title and grid lines. Then open our data sheet again. As you saw in the previous example, we need rows 10 through 1 here and columns 1 through 10 here, and all these values populated. So like a good cooking show, I have these values prepared here. So I'm just going to copy this table and paste it here, then close my data sheet. Only some of these values are being shown. This is happening because right now our columns are actually in rows and rows are in columns. So in order to fix that, click on chart design, click on select data, and in this select data source dialog box, click on switch row column, then click OK, and that should fix our problem. So now we see 100 dots here. Let's format this further. So I'm just going to fix our axis, double click on vertical axis, go to the right hand side, under maximum values, select a value of 10%, so 0.1, then press tab to exit out of the dialog box. Let's do the same thing for horizontal axis. So double click on the horizontal axis, change the value from 12 to 10. Now let's fix our markers. So I want the markers to look a bit bigger. So double click on this first row of markers, go to shape fill, click on marker, twirl open marker options menu, click on built-in, and then give this a size of say 10. Let's repeat the process for each of these rows. Now unfortunately, format painter doesn't work, so we have to do this one by one manually. But the good thing is you only need to do this the first time. Okay. We can shrink the size of our chart also. Let's change the color to the same color. Right now it looks too colorful, so I'm going to stick to this blue color and recolor rest of my rows. For this one, your format painter should work. So After clicking on every row, I am pressing F4 on my keyboard. That just copies the last formatting. So this is much faster. I was hoping this would work for our marker sizes as well, but that doesn't work there. Now you'll see there are these outlines around our circles, so I don't want that. So select each one of these rows and click on no outline. Now the same format painter options work here, so I'm just going to press F4 for every row. Okay, so our base chart is ready. Now when we remove some of these circles, right now there will just be empty space behind them, so we want these shadow circles to show behind our chart. So I'm going to duplicate this chart, place it here, and I'm just going to select white fill for each of these rows and a border like so. So let's duplicate that for all of them. Now you would have noticed that the moment we enabled the outline, PowerPoint has added this horizontal line as well. Since we don't want that, right click on the chart, click on change chart type, go to XY scatter again, and click on this XY scatter. So for some reason PowerPoint just changed our chart type to this without really asking us. So we have to revert that back to this XY scatter plot. Click OK. That should fix our problem. Now let's place this chart behind these circles. So we need to carefully overlap this and then send this chart to back. Let's add in the text. So I'm just going to copy this text from here to save time. Now let's change the value to something different. So I'm going to select 40%. Now in order for 40% to show here, we need to take out the top 6 rows and only have the values for the first 4 rows. So right click, click on edit data, take out our top 6 rows values. So select them like so and press delete, and just like that our chart is done. What I would recommend is you can create different versions of these charts with different colors and different percentages. Like you could have a full 100% chart saved somewhere as a template because it's easier to take out values than add them back. You could also have the same chart with different colors, so you don't have to change the colors every time. Now one final formatting change we should do is get rid of the axis. So click on this axis, press delete, click on the vertical axis, press delete. We need to do that for the chart at the back. So let's get the back side chart in the front first. Click on the axis and delete, and let's send our empty circle chart to back. Let's group our both charts. So whenever we shrink this, they move together. Let me shrink this even further, put this to the side. We could add a fake axis for the sake of formatting. So click on this. Let's give this a gray color, and there we are done. Now there are so many more things you could do with this chart. For example, you could change the circle to some other shape or even an icon. I will make a separate video where I will show you at least 5 more visuals for the exactly same chart. So stick around for that. I hope you like this video. Please leave a like and subscribe for future videos, and I will catch you next time.